What is going on, everybody? I'm pretty excited about this video because we are finally putting a new motor together for the RX-7. It's nothing too much more fancier than what we already had or anything extravagant, I guess, but it should do the trick. My goals with this motor is to make 1,300 horsepower on the dyno, and if not, we're gonna blow it up trying. So let me give you guys a rundown of what it is. So this right here is a Gen 5 5.3 aluminum block. As you can see, it's already decked. I already got the top of the deck epoxied, and so this is the head over here. I already got the heads welded and dry decked, all that goodness. I don't really know if it needs it, but I just wanted to try it. These holes in here are where the direct injectors used to go. And so I already welded the front side of them. Today, really quick, before I put the springs and stuff in this thing, is I'm going to drill and tap all these holes and put 1/8 inch NPT plugs in them. So I'm gonna be hopefully assembling the heads today and possibly doing the rings. Obviously, it'll be a similar setup, right? Stock pistons and rods, stock crank, stock bearing. Well, I got different rod bearings. It'll be stock main bearings because these mains are really weird. And then also I got new rings for this thing. So I'll be gapping the rings nice and loose, just like we did on the LS. And then it'll just have a set of dual valve springs, and it does have a stage 1 turbo cam. We shall see how this thing goes together. I'm really excited about this aluminum block setup because the biggest thing is the front end weight. So before it had an iron block in it. So the big problem we were having at these no preps is I have to jam a lot of weight in the back of the car, you know, like 380 pounds or 250 pounds, so depending on the surface. That is why we are going in the direction of what I'm about to show you. If you don't know, the aluminum blocks are almost exactly 100 pounds lighter than an iron block. In my head, you take 100 pounds off the nose, I might be able to pull almost 100 pounds out of the rear, which is 200 pounds out of the car. So I have some other stuff planned for future videos of moving some weight around, but we're gonna start here with this motor. Let's get into it. One head down, got all those plugs in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this other head up here so I can get these plugged, and then we can get to moving on to cleaning up the valves in this thing because you can't see in there, but since these things are direct injection, the ports get super nasty on the inside just because there's no fuel in there to help like clean them out. So when I pull these valves out and do the springs, I'm gonna have to clean up all of them because they're really gunked up. Once you start this thing up with E85 and actual port injection, it'll just make the intake ports look brand new. So yep, we'll get moving on to the next head. Professional trunnion installer.
I don't get paid enough. Click. You do a little spinny spin.
Good.
Well done.
Nice. So later that night, we got the rest of the rockers done, and then I also got the dual valve springs installed in the head. I'll show those here in just a little bit when we go to assemble the heads. But right now, I got all these pistons and rods laying out. I do have them numbered. I just numbered them when I pulled them out of the holes just to make it easier on me. But I have the even side cylinders almost all gapped up. If you guys haven't watched before, we've done this plenty of times with our motors. We got the top ring to 28 and the bottom ring to 30. Hoping I can get the short block assembled today before noon, and then the long block later tonight once I get some customer work done. Back with an update. We have the bottom end entirely assembled. Even got the rear cover on it, oil pans on it. It kind of sucks. These motors, they don't come with really nice gaskets like the LS's do. They use silicone instead, which really sucks. Like, GM, what are you doing? But I am getting ready to install. I got to lube up all these ARP head studs and then install them, and then I can go ahead and put this head on. So we're gonna start putting the heads on it. Everything should be good to go. I guess I'm a little bummed because I had planned to get the motor in the car before I left for vacation. So we leave later today at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I still need to figure out like intake manifold spacing and some other stuff. And the plan was to get the motor in the car before I leave, so that way I could order all the parts I need, because when I get back, I'm only going to have like a week and a half to finish everything, do the turbo kit, all this stuff, get it ready for the dyno, and there's a race September 16th. It's actually like a really big legal cash days. This place up in Wyoming lets this dude shut down a street and let us street race up there. So it's really cool. It's going to be a $10,000 payout on it. So it's going to be a big no prep race. They're going to been trying to get this done and get customer stuff done, so I have money to do all this stuff and make it all happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these heads on here, and I'll show you guys the final product. There you go. You're like, oh, dude, good job, man. You got the head all torqued on there. Nope, just playing. We ain't got no nuts, Ted. I heard some M12 by 1.25 nuts would pull a premium 2 weeks before the race, huh? Or I guess a day before I go on vacation. So apparently, whoever packed this order at ARP or whatever must have accidentally put 7/16 by 20 nuts in an order with studs that are M12 by 1.25. Like, how frustrating, right? I've spent so many late nights trying to get this motor together for the sole purpose of getting it in the car. Then to come this far and realize, I guess it is just not meant to be. Whatever. I guess it is what it is. I'm sure ARP, once they get a hold of me on Monday when they're back at their office, that they will send me nuts. I'm assuming for free, and they'll probably take care of it. But, I mean, what a bummer, right? Like, how mad can you be at them? Being mad at them isn't going to solve shit. It just fucking sucks. So, it is what it is. I'm going to freaking go home. It's a sign that it just wasn't meant to be put together. So, we'll just leave this thing with one head somewhat on it, and I guess in a week and a half when we come back from vacation, we'll try to see if we can slap this thing together, put it in the car, figure out what intake manifold we're going to run, try to order it and get it in time before the race. We'll see what happens. What a bummer. What a bummer. Just got back from Puerto Rico yesterday, and look at that. Just like how I said, real defeated, hated in that last clip before I went on vacation, because I really wanted to get this stuff in the car and get this thing on there. But look at that, we got a nut that actually screws on there. All right, we'll do second pass at 80 just to check them all. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I can't remember who ever taught me how to do this, to be honest. But I'll just checking them, make sure they ain't doing no weird shit. 5. All right, Becky. Don't start doing this loosey-goosey shit to me now. Anybody else hate torquing head studs? Because, like, they feel like they start to get tight, and then out of nowhere it just, like, slips, which I don't know if that's part of the washer spinning in place, which it's not supposed to do, even when you have a clean surface, but I don't know. On our final pass at 100 foot-pounds, we will pray to our aluminum metal gods and hope they don't pull no blocks. Say a prayer for, oh man, okay, all right, be nice to me, please. Okay, one down. Two down. This 100 foot-pounds is fun. We're having fun. Oh no. Don't do that to me. Come on, please. Be nice. Oh, just torque. What are you doing? Come on. Come on. Okay. Check it out. I'm preparing the other side to get the head on it real quick, and you might be wondering, dude, where's your other stud? Well, without fail, ARP has let me down again, I guess. When I got those wrong nuts, I should have QC'd everything else in the box, because apparently I'm missing one of the studs, which is whatever. After I wanted to drive off a cliff, I decided we're just gonna instead talk to this other dude that has been shorted head studs before, and he says that he just puts it in one of the corner ones and puts it up front, and it says he just installs it after. So I guess that's what we'll do. We will install the head and then just drop the other one down in there and do the same torque steps, because to be honest, the big thing is I just need to get this thing in the car so I can take measurements for stuff and get parts. I'm gonna get this head torqued on minus one of the studs, and we'll get on with our day, and we'll try to see if by the end of the day today, the RX-7 will have the motor and trans back in it. Check it out. The rear trans mount is in there, and I was able to get the 4 bolts that hold the mid plate on. I am going to start working on these front motor plates. So these things are just slightly different, like the water pump in and outs up there on the block. So I had to get different or new motor plates, but I already kind of checked this out on where the front of the block is and where my old front plate used to go. And all I need to do is cut that front plate and then drill the holes in it, and I think it should go in there just fine. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more tonight. I'm gonna end this video off here. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know and like it. Like the video and comment on it. Even if you hate it, love it, what do you think? You think this SBE, this 5.3 Gen 5 L83 stock pistons and rods is gonna make 1,300 horsepower? Do you think it can happen? Do you have any faith in mine and Derek's ability to tune it, and my ability to set it up and try to make it live? I think it'll do it. You guys let me know down in the comments. I'm gonna get this video uploaded for you guys. We will continue this video series of getting this thing ready for this $10,000 race that is on September 16th. We've got a couple of hurdles I've already figured out, but we'll save those for some other videos. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.